Victoria Chilofia, and welcome to Don Bosco Vibes on Radio Maria, your sunny voice. So I'm not alone, but I'm joined by the Don Bosco Vipers in the studios. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Vicky.
So, is self-acceptance always easy? So that is the question that is being posed to you, our dear listener. So we'll start with Elizabeth. What is self-acceptance?
The ability to love yourself unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no matter what flaws or maybe traits that you might have. And then self-acceptance, you have to accept yourself the way you are. Maybe if you have a disability, maybe your eyesight is short, maybe you're unable to listen properly, but if you accept yourself, then well and good. The only thing you have to do to be happy is to accept who you are.
Okay, so self-acceptance. Stephen, why are you the way you are?
I am who I am because of the past, or because of things that came before me.
Yeah.
You know, so that's who I am, and I cannot change that. So I think accepting that is actually a big step forward into really accepting who you are.
Okay. Edward, why are you the way you are? You can't be the same height with Elizabeth.
Well, I think there are a lot of factors that, give somebody identity. And I think society is one of them, the community where you come from, the family where you come from, So I am like this because of the community I was raised in and the energies that came forth when I was growing up, and I am like this because there's some things I had to accept that this is a way of life, and without these things, there won't be Kasisa living, So I what I can say is accepting situations also builds identity and knowing yourself. So you can't know yourself when you don't accept your family. Your family isn't doing well, like, I want to be in a rich family, this is not my family. You are losing yourself. That's not you. That's not you. So accepting your situation, your background, where you come from, your community gives you identity.
Is it always easy for one to accept themselves? Is it, or is self-acceptance always easy?
Accepting yourself involves accepting situations around you. And I think there are some situations where they'll just throw you off. Like, it's so hard to find a job. At times you might feel like there's something wrong with you. Whenever I go for an interview, they'll ask me 2 questions, they will say they will call me, and they don't call me, And then when you try to accept yourself, you are indirectly accepting some situations, and some situations are hard to accept. So for that reason, self-acceptance is hard, because self-acceptance is unconditional. I know, like, we accept ourselves, calling ourselves no, me and bad news, because we've won a medal, we've gotten good grades, but without these wins around, are we going to accept ourselves? That's the question. So self-acceptance is unconditional, but there are those situations where ukalangana show be like, sininga kwanisi. So those situations make self-acceptance hard. You need great skill and some steps to follow for you to accept yourself.
Okay, awesome. So Grace, what are the indicators of accepting yourself?
I think you first have to analyze who you are. First, figure out in what position are you in, or where are you in your life right now, in order for you to make a commitment to self-acceptance. Because you would not be knowing what you need to change about you before you make that commitment. So, because if you make that commitment to accept yourself, to say, okay, are there certain things that I ought to just accept about myself? For example, if you're one person who's always brought down by failure and never wants to get up, is that something that you should accept about yourself? If you're one person who's always discouraged by other people's comments, you're always listening to other people commenting about your life, and you just take that comment to heart, and even when you want to start up something, they just tell you, anyway, where can you go in this life? What are you even doing? What are you starting? So like, where are you going to take that? Okay? And if you continue to listen to other people, having to make that commitment is going to turn into a failure, because that has been something that you made a part of your character.
I think, forgiving oneself, even as a parent, for a thing that you did. If you really hurt a child, you beat him up, or you beat her up, really forgiving yourself in trying to communicate that this was wrong. I think the best way, like Grace was saying, is finding an alternative route, because we learn from such things, and even the child picks up something from that.
If you do not analyze yourself, if you do not think, okay, am I hurt when other people comment about my life? Is it something I take to heart all the time? Do I let it go? Am I somebody who's strong enough to continue pushing even when I'm criticized? And so if you're unable to know who you are, if you're unable to analyze, at least maybe even have a week. Once a week, you say, okay, Saturday has come, Sunday has come, okay, how did my week go? How did I relate to people? How did I relate to myself? Also, learn to have some grace and mercy on yourself, and be patient with yourself.
Alright, thank you so much for coming through. You guys have been great and awesome. This is where we need to wrap up. My name's Victoria Chilufia, so join us again next week as we bring you another exciting topic. So we'll be looking at something to do with the youth. So join us again next week on Youth Day at 10 hours.